Welcome to Connection, the channel where everyone's voice matters. My name is Belitis, and you can call me as well Actress of Change, and I'm pleased to be your host on Connection today. If you're new to Connection, what should you expect? You should expect to meet inspiring men and women who are really driven day by day by what they're doing through their story and through their actions, and who want to make a difference as well within their community. So if you're new, remember to subscribe. Like this, you'll receive a notification each time a new episode comes on. Today, I'm pleased to introduce you to a man who really started, he's originally from South Africa. But to tell you more about Matt Krugger, so first, he grew up in France and he loves extreme sports. One often sees him jumping over walls and doing handstands off bridges. When he started to doing that, some of other people thought he was a bit cuckoo and crazy, but now he has so many followers that does this sport as well with him. And he takes as well an absolutely impossible challenge and turns them fun. Besides, with 19 years in advertising and working on premium brands, Matt is a passionate engine that drives MK creatives through graphic design, idea engineering, social media strategies, for example. Matt is as well involved within his community by co-founding the NGO One Heart, where he acts as a marketing manager and youth leader with a great heart to see community uplifted and potential discovered through youth development. Last but not least, he's currently developing the Living 99 Identity Development Program, which he will tell us more about it right now. Please stand up wherever you are and give a big round of applause to Matt Krugger.
Okay.
How are you?
Hi everyone, and hi to all the listeners and viewers from South Africa. And yes, today we don't have a sunny day in South Africa. Today it looks a bit more like Europe. We've got clouds and rain, but we're very happy about that from the Cape. Yeah. So so Belitis, thank you for having us, and thank you for the platform, and thank you for the connection, and for being able to share what we do in South Africa as well. So essentially, the main community driving engine that we kind of have a heartbeat for. So and how that started was with a crazy American lady that her name is Lisa. She's beautifully dynamic and intelligent, and so she came up with this wonderful idea to really get involved in bettering education in South Africa, because as you may know, in South Africa, it's not, we're not quite a third world country, but we're not quite there yet. We're not China, we're not the US. We're still climbing up. We're a developing nation, and as a result, we do always need better education. And we took a look and we saw, but there's a real need for better books. And so Lisa just came up with the idea of getting involved and getting her hands right in there. And I was inspired by this woman, and I thought, okay, great, I'm getting on board too. And next thing I knew, I was being pulled in. Matt, can you design this? Matt, can you do that? Matt, can you? Like, okay. And so we started doing trail runs, because I love sport, and we're all very active down here. So we did trail running, where we would invite families and children to run for other children. So you would come and you would pay your money, and then your money would go towards helping communities and schools that really didn't have money. So we would bring books into schools like that. So it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And we started in 2015. And then, of course, we just built momentum. And then came COVID, and it ended everything. So then, Lisa, being who she is, she just, she was thinking on her feet, and she was like, she can't sit still. She probably has a bit of ADD, I think, maybe, but okay. So she couldn't sit still, and she was like, great, we need to do something else. And so she got into trauma counseling, and she got into handing out food parcels. And I think that's a wonderful thing with NGOs, is if you're doing one thing for 10 years and then the whole world changes around you, if you're not going to change, then you're not staying relevant switched into a new direction when COVID came along and changed everybody's game. So she went in and she approached counselors and she did food parcels, and next thing you knew, we were all busy with that instead of running events. And again, it was like, Matt, can you help with this? Can you help with that? Can you help? I'm like, okay, so she's been keeping me very busy, I'll tell you that. But yeah, so we really enjoy working with children, and the focus has always been kids. So for us, our little symbol, it looks like this. It's a 1 with the heart in it. And the reason why we went like this is we said, it's one thing to talk about love. It's another thing to actually do something, So we said, listen, fold your love into your hand, put the love into action, So, and that's become a symbol for us. And it's really awesome, So, and we've been so encouraged, like lots of communities. We're servicing 18 schools at the moment, and the communities around them. We are doing a lot of sort of challenge-based outreaches, and that's why we've got ambassadors. And I'm fortunate enough to also be one of the ambassadors. But we've got, for instance, another ambassador whose name is Andrew Patterson, who's just 365 days every day in order to raise funds for One Heart. And, it was amazing. And now he's climbing buildings in America, and he's become a real powerful motivational speaker. And okay, so what happened with me was I thought maybe, and as well. So I decided last year I'm going to walk 100 kilometers in 24 hours over 3 mountain passes. That was lots of fun. And I feel a little bit fitter, and my girlfriend likes me more now because I don't have a stomach. But yes, look, we just like making a difference by way of doing something. I think the main frustration sometimes is if something is being done with it. And also, it's one thing to give money. It's another thing to just get involved, in one way or the other, to say, okay, I'll do this, or I'll do a bit of marketing, or I'll do a bit of design, or I'll come volunteer, or I'll come serve in this way or that way. So that was a very powerful thing to see in action, literally in action, so, and it's inspiring because your world starts changing once you see how big it is if you are no longer just doing your own thing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yes, when you share. Let's see, the internet breaks a bit, but it's for good. Let's be patient, digital patience.
I think we're back.
Yes, you're back.
Yes, okay. Sorry, we've got a saying down there, we say TIA, this is Africa. So if it happens, it happens, and then you just deal with it and you get busy with something else until the power comes on again.
And actually, like
quite a lot about One Heart, and we get involved in different ways. We've got a passion for kids, we've got a passion for education, we've got a real passion for sport, and so we just try putting them together in a way that makes sense. So that helped a lot to see it coming together. And yes, under the leadership of our friend Lisa, who's, like I said, powerfully dynamic. I mean, you would not believe that she's in her 60s. Because she's got more energy than the 20-year-olds,
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. So it shows you if you're passionate about something, then the energy is there. Yeah. So that's One Heart in a nutshell. People can go and check it out on One Heart for Kids. I mean, literally, if you just type in One Heart for Kids, you will find it.
Yes, and we will have the link definitely on this description
or on our website.
Yeah. And thank you so much, Matt, for sharing your
super active, so you will find us.
Yes, we will. And thank you, Matt, for sharing like your passion for One Heart, and as well, like I know maybe you may be shy a bit to talk about yourself. However, like could you tell us about could you tell us more about like the 99 Identity Program? What drives you to create this program? Go for it.
Yes. Okay, great. So I know I look good now, you know, but you know, if we had to press the rewind button, let's say 15, 20 years ago, you would have been shocked to see I was actually a drug addict, and I was, you know, I was a very spoiled individual in the sense that I didn't understand what priorities was. I didn't. So some of us, we learn when some, you know, by wisdom, by going to find out what is someone else's mistake that they made, and then you adapt like that. And then some of us, you know, are the idiot geniuses of the world, and we go and make the mistakes ourselves. And you bump your head, and you're like, oh hell, that hurt. And then you bump your head again, and it's like, oh, that hurt even more. But then you do it again, and you don't learn. You know, they say doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, that is the definition of insanity, right? And so for me, that's literally my story. Leaving 99, it's got to do very simply with the concept of in some things in life, you need to have percent. So, for instance, if you tell me you've got 99% integrity, then I say to you, but actually you have no integrity, because with integrity, you need to have 100% integrity. And then I thought about it and I was like, wait, Matt, but you know, you don't have much integrity. And then I thought, why do I have integrity? Because I don't know who the hell I am. I've got no idea. I've got no real take on my identity. I'm not confident. I'm not strong, you know. And these thoughts, they started really taking me into a certain direction. And then I realized that as much as I was struggling with this, there was a whole generation of kids and adults out there struggling with the same question of, will real me please stand up? Like, who are you, dude? Are you, you know, do you know, have you got a clear idea? It's not about having everything figured out, but it is most certainly about answering that question of saying, I've got certain anchors in my life that I know that's who I am and that's who I am not. And if you know those things, and if you understand, and actually make a difference, you know. So I started writing about this, and then it all just kind of clicked, you know. Sometimes like the Da Vinci characters, like I said, I'm an idiot genius because, you know, I bump my head, but I have these moments of clarity. And fortunately, I was able to start writing some of this stuff down and living it. And so I started this program called Leaving 99, and I started testing it out on others. And then I realized I was failing horribly because now I had all this wonderful head knowledge, but I still wasn't living in integrity. So I had to go all the way back. And as I was writing, I had to live this stuff out and start living it out. And that was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, is just be honest, you know, about your shortcomings, be honest about your failures. One of my failures was that I was completely addicted to drugs, all sorts of drugs. And I had to stop, you know, and not just stop and go, okay, well, I'm the strong one, I'm stopping. It's not that. It's this thing of deciding, like, what do you want more? It's not someone standing behind you and telling you, you're gonna die, you're gonna end up in hospital, like my mother, you're gonna end up in jail. Like, no. It's this thing of saying, hey, what do you want more? What do you want more? Paint a picture for yourself in your life and have this much time. And you don't even have a guarantee of that much time. You know, you just, that's the basic plan. It's, you know, it's from here to there, and then you're dead. And then what kind of life do you want to live? What do you want to do with that? You just want to cruise through and enjoy it and be as selfish as possible and, you know, be as comfortable as possible before you end up in a coffin? Or do you actually want to live, you know? And this inspired me so much to start writing Leaving 99 and to start living Leaving 99. And so what would take a year to write and to start implementing started taking freaking 10 years to write and implementing. And, wow. And I wish I could tell you, hey, no, I finished the book, I'm there now. Truth is, I'm on module 3 of module of 8 modules that I've written and thought, I'm really smart. Dude, you're a genius. You're going to get like all sorts of recognition all over the world for this. You're going to change communities. You're going to change countries. You're going to change education systems with this. Great. All the potential is that's locked up in it. But the truth of it is that 3 modules out of 8 is what I'm living now. And as I'm living it, I'm writing it little by little. So something powerful, they will get something real and they will get something authentic. One of my kids died. I've got 3 others. Because of my lifestyle, I've got no contact at all, no contact. And so I thought, you know, if I was to die today and all they had was this thing that they could read and say that this is like a manual, kind of like an advice guideline from a father that had no contact with his son, his daughter, and this was what I'm trying to achieve, apart from actually having real contact with them one day. So that's what makes it powerful. One of the modules in Leaving 99, it says, what stays when I go? In other words, what do you leave behind? If you die, what do you leave behind? Einstein left us with a lot. Steve Jobs, he left us with a lot. You know, if you think about it like that. So you've got to find something that makes you tick so well and so hardcore that you're willing to not get tired when you do it, that you're willing to keep on doing it, that it drives you to a place where you've always got energy for it, you know, and where you've always got your brain ticking over about this thing that you're busy with. And so for me, that is essentially Leaving 99, but also all the foundational stuff that just goes with Leaving. I've got to have my stuff together when it comes to business. I've got to have my brain on as well. I can't just have my head in the clouds. I've got to have my feet on the ground. I've got to be balanced. I've got to know my way around money. I've got to know my way around big decisions that I've made and said, this I stand for, my morals, versus this I don't agree with. You know, I've got to understand the challenges that I'm facing and take them on bravely, you know, with courage, and say, I will back down on this, this, and this. But at the same time, also be wise enough to be open and relevant in a world that keeps on changing all the time. So yeah, I'm very excited about Leaving 99, and I'm very excited about the difference that it could potentially make. However, to be completely honest, I am writing still. I'm still a writing, you know. So and as it's going, it's obviously just changing. My girlfriend just essentially said that I mustn't wait until I'm 75 until I release all this stuff, because, you know, some people will be dead by then and I will be very old. So she said I must actually turn these modules into books. So I thought it was one book that I'm writing. No, 8 different books that you're writing. So while you're writing number 3, release number 1, so that it could all just, you know, happen and take the course that it needs to take. So I'm encouraged, and I'm kind of there with you know, number 1, module 1. But obviously it's how life goes, because you start with one thing, and then this parcours or UOR, urban obstacle running, that, you know, I started doing late in life. Suddenly it just clicked in, you know, because once you start connecting with your purpose, and you start connecting with the reason why you're on this planet, that it's not just about you, then you start attracting all sorts of things that make sense to your destiny, to your particular story that you get to tell over the course of a chronology of what, 70 years, 30 years, 40 years. And in particular, my story has got to do with parcours, the sport, which is overcoming obstacles, physical obstacles, but at the same time, Leaving 99, which is overcoming hardcore, emotional, physical, spiritual obstacos, so that you get a sense of vision and identity. I hope that makes sense.
Yes, I was saying, Matt, so I don't know where it cut for you, but I was saying that your girlfriend has a brilliant idea for you to already publish what you have already written of the program, the modules, because if not, yes, we're gonna have to wait until you're 100 years old, and when you may have left behind thousands of people you could have helped. So yes,
Right.
definitely, I'm with your girlfriend, and like, yeah, go for it. Share what you have to share. Right now, ASAP to support others who may need your work right now. And as well, on that note, Matt, was there a last message you wanted to share for our audience?
Well, yes, I think I want to say wear sunscreen.
Why not?
Why, right, can I tell you why? Because, you know, I think life is very much like a fire that burns. And if you arm yourself with good knowledge, and if you arm yourself with, you know, if you equip yourself with passion, with inspiration, and if you realize that your time is limited, that, you know, you're only passing through once, and it's one incredible journey. It's like a 3D movie, you know, that you're in. And to not let too many opportunities just slip by, but to actually just grab them and like really go for them. It would be amazing to see if some individuals across the world, you know, and those have been there in history, the ones that have, but, you know, to be part of living history and to say, you know, the thing that you've been created for, the thing that makes you special, the thing that makes you so unique, you know, to grab that and to really give expression to that with all of your energy. As a good example, we have Elon Musk, who, you know, he's made up his mind. This guy wants to go to Mars. For some other reason, he wants humanity to go to Mars, you know, so he doesn't actually care about everything else. He spends 18 hours a day working on that. And to me, that is quite amazing, regardless of what you think of him or whatever. Oh, by the way, he's a South African, was it? And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing to have that kind of commitment to something that's so much bigger than you. So that's my message to people out there, is to say, I've got leaving 99, and I've got a lot of big plans. You know, whether I actually manage to do it remains to be seen. But in the same way, don't live your life just, you know, sort of on cruise control or on just average is enough. And that's my message. That's the last message I want to share. Yeah. And thank you very much for having me. I will speak the ears off a donkey if you let me. So, you know, yeah. Thanks.
I know, Matt. You love to share your story. You love, you know, to share fire with others, for others as well, to live their truth as well. So thank you so much, Matt, for coming up on Connection, and to everyone listening. To everyone listening, you know, like, you can feel like Matt is really as well a force by nature, but he had to learn as well the hard way for him to stand up and be now every day on his truth and living his craft. So thank you once again, Matt. We're looking forward to see the first reveal of your first module coming up. And and on that note as well, for everyone, yes, you know, like, you can support as well One Heart, and you know, like, bringing education to children, and as well, you know, before it was through sports, and now as well the priority is on food parcels, and through you were mentioning as well mental support. But do know that whatever contribution you can make, everyone, it's going to make a difference in someone else's life. And besides, you know as well that Connection supports Give to Dream Foundation, which is as well, this one is a foundation created by one of my dear friend, Aida Sabri, and brings as well education to children with discapacities in Kenya, and to women, to bring education, higher education to women over India. And now the focus has changed as well to food parcels. So, you know, any of this foundation you're going to support, you do know that you're going to make a difference in someone else's life. Thank you so much for coming up on Connection, Matt, again, once more. Everyone, thank you for joining Connection on every 2 Friday. And remember, if not done yet, subscribe and like and share around you. Thank you, everyone. Make the most of your day. And remember to be better one day at a time.